Good evening, my name is Sherlock Holmes, the greatest detective in the world.
We solve mysteries and we solve any crime. Elementary.
Let's go, Watson.
Let's go! The game's afoot.
And who's this over here?
This is the Upper Dr. Watson.
Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson are in full cry. So are the rest of the Ranfurly players, because it's dress rehearsal day for their latest production, The Hound of the Baskervilles.
What are you doing in the play?
Chase a hound.
A hound?
Hound?
A giant hound?
Giant hound.
What does the hound do?
Chase it.
You take the hound when you catch it.
You catch it.
To jail.
Jail.
Mr. Smith, are you going to take him to jail?
Yeah,
What are you going to do with him at jail?
I'm in jail.
You're going to give him a good whack?
Yeah, good whack.
These are our policemen.
Making the introductions is director Brett Ihaka. He's the driving force behind the Ranfurly Repertory Theatre Group, and right now he's urging the cast to get into character.
Everyone's ready? Looking wonderful. Dance like a demon. Dance like a demon.
The Ranfurly players are all residents or day attendees at Ranfurly Care. They all have varying intellectual and physical disabilities, but Brett simply applies the rigours he would to any repertory group. He expects them to act, stage and perform as professionals. And yes, he can be tough. There's no hand-holding.
Because it's real. It's real acting. When we started to do this, I said no one's going to be getting any leeway for any disability you've got. No one's going to be getting any leeway for any impairment you've got. You're going to see yourselves as real actors. Now, if you're going to be real actors, there are rules. You've got to do your dialogue, hit your marks, take direction, and do the best job you can. So because of that ethic, I've pretty much told them, and they've accepted, you're actors, you're working, this is how we do it, this is how everyone does it, and that's how I'm going to treat you. Do your cue.
14 years ago, forming a professional repertory theatre was the last thing on the minds of the Ranfurly Care Society. The government's policy shift towards deinstitutionalised care meant the former IHC facility in Epsom was believed redundant and would be sold off. Concerned family and supporters eventually split from the IHC, formed a society and bought Ranfurly to provide continued care for the residents. It was a bitter battle, but today, manager Linda Nelson can look back with pride over Ranfurly's transformation.
We've grown from 3 residents the day we started. We now have 28, so we've progressed a long way. We bought another site, Cornwall Park, in 1999, which was another IHC facility. So there we've got a life skill program training people to be able to care for themselves, and that's everything from planning their menu, going shopping, doing their cooking, cleaning their unit, etc, etc. And hopefully one day some of them may be able to go and live in the community on their own. We have 50 people attend the day program at different times, and we have 28 residents. And we have a lifestyle plan for everybody in our service. Everybody has a goal, and to achieve that, with the activity centre staff ratio at the moment is 1:6. Well, there's a lot of magical things happen on this journey, and life's a journey. Ranfurly's been a journey, and Brett came along and wanted to do drama. As I say, last year we did Macbeth, which I think was a major achievement for our people.
Brett Ihaka's journey to Ranfurly came with a professional background in theatre and film production, courtesy of a minor midlife crisis and a desire to do more for others. The director and scriptwriter ignored the sceptics and tackled the big one, Macbeth. It was a sellout success.
What people have been saying, especially from last year, they were just totally surprised. Macbeth, our actors are intellectually impaired, they have disabilities, and they did one of the greatest Shakespearean plays of all time. And the audience have just loved it. This year, once everyone knew we're doing The Hound of the Baskervilles, we've already sold out, and that was a couple of weeks ago.
Meanwhile, back on the moors, a hound is howling, gypsies are dying, and Holmes is having a musical moment.
You play terrible, Sherlock Holmes, you play terrible. Sherlock Holmes, you play terrible.
You don't know what good music is, Watson.
Sherlock for this play chose himself. once we sat all the actors down at the beginning of this year and we talked about the play we were going to do, and I said, the Hound of the Baskervilles. Giant hound, chased by a detective, Sherlock Holmes, this is what he does. And I walked around and did some mannerisms of Sherlock Holmes, and one of our actors, Peter Mode, just stood up and just went, I am Sherlock Holmes. And that was it. Which is what we were trying to achieve, you know, get these guys to stand up and create their own identities. I found it was a lot easier to give them things to think about and improvise and then create something written from that, which is how the process should be. It's organic. We sat down, I'd talk to them about what happened in a scene, the giant hound comes out, everyone runs away, I'd listen to them to what they'd say about it, then I'd make a few notes, show them the notes, and then this year I said, well, you're not going to have a script at all, you're going to improvise. But last year we did lines and they managed to learn their dialogue quite well. Normally, the sound, they're quite distinctive and it's really, really loud. On the night, it's quite loud. When the thunder thunders, it thunders. When the hound howls, it howls. And when they hear the sound cue, it throws them into the moment, and that's what it's all about. It's, you know, it's an anxious state. It's organic type of acting, and when they hear that, hound, and off they go. Bang, they're telling their story.
2 years on and 2 days away from opening night, Brett Ehaka's vision of a professional repertory theatre at Ranfurly is on track. Plus, he's found a direction for his own life.
If there's one thing I've learned, the biggest thing I've learned is that I had to take a responsibility to show people who might not have had the opportunity to do these things and give them that opportunity. I think more people need to do that.
Elementary. Sherlock Holmes, elementary.